I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
This is Samantha once again. Welcome back to another review. This is another Patreon review. This time for Bra It's Stipe. Thank you so much for that. Thank you to everyone who has done that. If anyone wants to request pretty much any type of video, whether it be review, movie topic, or pretty much anything else, you can either send it directly to my PayPal, or you can join me on my Patreon. Links to both of those are down in the info box. If not, no worries, but if so, thank you so much. Now, Firefighter is a film I had seen before. I saw it around when it came out on DVD because I thought the trailer looked fairly decent. And as a movie, I think it's a decent B movie. Nothing more, nothing less. It's not amazing. It does have its issues. But considering how many direct-to-video action films I've seen, I think this is a decent one for a number of reasons. Number one, the cast. Josh Duhamel, he's probably most well known for his work in the Transformer films as one of the soldiers, along with Tyrese. Decent, good actor. I don't say decent, but he's a pretty good actor, and I thought he actually did a natural, solid job as his everyman who is also a firefighter. And he's able to do a little bit of his firefighter stuff at the end of the film. Pretty much the story is that he goes to a convenience store one day, and the store owner and his son are killed by this neo-Nazi played by Vincent D'Onofrio. And yeah, he has like a southern type of accent, but I thought he actually pulled it off well, because he had a certain presence and attitude, and he makes the guy call, "You tell him I killed your son, there'll be more coming from you." I'm not going to do a southern accent because I do a poor job of it. But Vincent was fairly good in the movie. I thought he was rather intimidating in the film. And you could tell like he cared. It wasn't just a paycheck role. Of course, Josh Duhamel witnesses it. One thing leads to another. He gets into witness protection and relocation, and the agent assigned to him is Rosario Dawson. I like Rosario Dawson. I think her role, though, could have been a lot better, and I'll get to that. That's one of my issues with the film, but I do like her as an actress. They fall in love way too quickly, but really without any preamble, without any build-up. Is they meet, and then I swear like 1 minute, 2 minutes later, it cuts to them being in love. Usually in movies there's a build-up to that for a good reason. Again, that's one of my issues with the film. When the action scene happened, they're alright. I mean, the director was a stuntman. He was a stuntman on films like Volcano, Dante's Peak, what was it, Striking Distance. I think this is the only film he directed. He directed a lot of TV work. And it seems like there was a decent budget behind this. The action scenes, granted, it to do with less shady cam, but there's action scenes I didn't mind. They didn't blow me away, but for direct-to-video action film, I didn't mind. Like when they're getting shot at, and the bad guy shooting a sniper rifle, and you see it zoom with the bullet. You know, little moments like that, or moments of violence, like when Josh Duhamel wants someone to talk, he gets a hammer and chisel and starts putting the chisel into this guy's legs and knees in order to get information. At the end of the film, he sets up a fire trap for the bad guys, or he'll shoot folks that are on fire. He throws a fire axe into a chest. Granted, if you want to watch an action film with a firefighter, well, if you could have... Bad Draft is an action film in a way. But I mean as in a action film, the good guys, bad guys, fighting, shooting. Collateral Damage is the #1 film to go, because Collateral Damage with Arnold is very underrated. And yeah, that's much better than this, if you want to talk about firefighter action films. But this one, even with 50 Cent and Vinnie Jones, thankfully they're not in it too much to fuck things up. I think 50 Cent's actually one of the producers. Rosario Dawson gets shot, not killed, but shot. Josh Duhamel wants revenge. I think that you could have done more with the revenge portion. Bruce Willis is in this film as a cop. On the one hand, he's not sleepwalking through this role, which I appreciate. He has a good bit of dialogue when he's trying to contact someone about Josh Duhamel, and they're giving him some shit and some lip, and Bruce Willis is saying something like, well, why don't you let him stay with me? He sleep on my couch. I got cold beer in the fridge. ESPN on TV. I got a tactical shotgun. And they want to get this boy, they gotta come through me. You understand? You third grade motherfuckers. So, Bruce Willis actually seems like he cares. It's just he's not really given anything to do. And that's the thing where this is a decent film, but I just see elements that if you improved on this, it would have been a damn good one. Like I said, the actors do their jobs fine. I like Vincent D'Onofrio. This is a Vincent D'Onofrio Bruce Willis flick before the remake of Death Wish, which I would put that above this. I would say even the Death Wish remake was better than that. Maybe if you had a more accomplished director or a few more passes on the script. Because again, it's not a bad looking film. The actors do their jobs well. The ending I was satisfied enough with. You know, a lot of the fire is practical. Hell, there's more fire in this than Backdraft 2, which I ranted on a few weeks ago. Josh Duhamel pulls the lead character off fairly well. Again, he seems natural. It didn't seem out of place or forced. Bruce Willis, he's not sleepwalking. He's not given much to do. I would have had it where... Okay, the improvements I would have done. Number one, have a little bit more of Josh Duhamel, maybe using more tricks as a firefighter to take care of some more bad guys before we get to the finale. Number two, have more of a lead up between him and Rosario Dawson, because he's relocated, we introduce Rosario Dawson, then it cuts to their lovey-dovey. More of a build-up would have been appreciated. And then Rosario Dawson gets shot, she's not in the film for a chunk of time, then she comes back, they have a few conversations, it becomes sort of a dance on distress, but she's able to do a couple things at the end at least, so it's not a total worthless character. And Bruce Willis, let him get there in the third act. Shoot off a couple guns. Shoot off a couple things in his pistol or his tactical shotgun he kept mentioning. Or at least that one scene he mentioned. Bring Bruce Willis in at the end. 'Tis really, you could cut out Bruce Willis's character. Seriously, if you edit Bruce Willis's character out, not much would be different. So it was nice to see him in here giving a shit, and not just, hey, I'm Bruce Willis. 50 Cent, working with you again. Worked with you on the setup. With my money, I don't want to do action films. But I mean, I just signed for 20 more action films. But I don't want to do any more action films. I mean, I don't know why I signed up for 20 more action films when I said I don't want to do action films. But I'm going to do some spit takes. And I'm going to be an asshole to every director. Someone wants to work with me. So now I'm stuck in Steven Seagal land. At least Jean-Claude Van Damme, for the most part, gives a shit about his projects. They're not always good movies, but Van Damme, for the most part, is not the problem in them. I think he just needs better directors and writers around him. Bruce, he just don't give a fuck. I mean, I did a rant on Bruce Willis, but man, maybe that's another. Maybe that'll be another video down the road. But Firefighter, again, it's not going to blow you away. But if you like direct-to-video action films, if the trailer, well, to be honest, the trailer is one of those trailers that gives away most of the movie, like almost every trailer does nowadays. I liked it for what it was. Again, Vincent D'Onofrio, I thought worked well as this neo-Nazi racist villain. Josh Duhamel worked well as the lead. I thought it went at a good pace. It was a decent looking film, so it didn't look too cheap. There's little bits of action sprinkled throughout, which, again, I could use a less shaky cam, but I've seen far, far worse. Like, for example, there's one scene where Josh Duhamel shoots these guys in a car, and it's a crash, and not only is it a crash, but one of them flies through the fucking windshield, which was a nice little touch. Again, I think if you sprinkle a bit more action for Josh Duhamel to do, give Bruce Willis to come in at the end to help Josh Duhamel, and build up a bit more of the Rosario, Dawson, Josh love story, at least those three things. If you amplified those three things, I think this would have been, wow, this is a damn good one. Other than, it's not bad. It's not a bad B movie. If you think this is a bad movie with Bruce Willis as direct-to-video, go watch The Setup. Go watch the one he did with Thomas Jane. I forget what the hell it was called. Go watch, or don't go watch, almost anything else he's done direct-to-video wise. I would say this is one of the better ones that he was involved with. And then Bruce was not given much to do, but when he's there, it seems like he cares. And Josh Duhamel, I'd be open to seeing him in another action film. I mean, maybe with a director that has a bit more experience in directing. The stunts is one thing, direction of a movie is another. And it's not badly done, but I just think, maybe it's not even the directing, but I think a few more passes on the script and improve on certain elements really would have made this an even better film. As is, I do like the film. I think it's a fairly decent B movie. It's a lot better than some of the shit I've seen direct-to-video. People forget, I reviewed and watched pretty much every Steven Seagal direct-to-video film except like the last two he did. From a guy who's watched almost every Steven Seagal direct-to-video film and reviewed it on this channel, I've seen some shit. I don't think this movie's shit. It's not a 1 out of 5. It's not, some of the reviews this film has gotten, I think is over the top. I mean, I gotta share this one because this I thought was a ridiculous review, which I could tell is from a guy. I understand we all have our opinions, we all have our different strokes and different folks, so to speak, but I just think, maybe it's not even the review, maybe it's the directing, but I think a few more passes on the script and improve on certain elements really would have made this an even better film. As is, so to speak. But this review from Empire magazine is absolutely fucking ridiculous. It shows me this guy has not seen action films, let alone direct-to-video films. I mean, average rating of 3.3 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes 7%. Not that bad. Here it is. Avoid like the plague, the nasty bubonic kind. Give me a fucking break. I would more agree with Time Out London, 3 out of 5. Unambitious, but thoroughly... It's sturdy, unambitious, but thoroughly watchable action thriller, 3 out of 5. Yeah, if I did star ratings of 5 stars, this would be a 3-star flick. You know, there's much better, like the Die Hard type of film with Batista, Final Score, that's a better one than this. Stuff that Isaac Florentine has done, better than this. Avengement, which I reviewed with Scott Adkins, much better than this. But there's so much worse. This is a decent time waster. So thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.